2, 1. I would say that a lot of the flipper kids are trying to hit the restocks and like maybe not so much trying to flip cards as much.
You mean like going to Target and clearing out the shelves?
Exactly.
Gary, you have no idea how quick the cards go at just retail shops. Target,
bro, I see it. Listen, I do know because it crushes me because people get mad and think I'm the I do know because every time there's a post about an empty shelf at Target in 2 minutes or people sitting outside, like the 19th comment is Gary Vee. See what you did? I didn't do this. I like. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at Target. No. Like when things get hot, when Power Rangers and fucking Nintendo and Cabbage Patch Kids get hot, they limit it, and they've been doing it. And I've said,
I think it's good for the hobby. So I think it's awesome.
I think the following. I think telling another man or woman how they should live their life is always a dangerous slope. This notion that you should have a personal collection if you're doing this, or that you should do this, or you shouldn't do that. I'm just curious who who made who in charge?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my point. Like nobody's in charge. Like I love when people are like, Gary, fuck you. I've been in this for 15 years. I'm like, bro, I was in it before you got in it. Mm-hmm. I did it from 1986 to 1993. Does that mean I'm OG? I don't understand. Like, tell me, like, what's the rules? There are none. I think the rules are ethics matter.
Yeah.
Like it's really sad when people cancel their order or saw it on eBay because the market dipped during the transport. Mm-hmm. But I think that works out in karma. Like, for example, when people shit on Gary Vee, fuck that guy, he pumps and dumps. The problem is there's no data around me dumping because I haven't sold any cards.
Yep. What is your idea on the time frame of sort of, the end game of cards?
I've gone so classic. I would say I'm heavy on LeBron. Like my most contemporary plays are Giannis and Luka. And I'm just gonna ride that out. Everything else is like Kobe and LeBron and Magic and Bird and Jordan. Like I'm sitting on nothing, but like honestly, thank God that I work hard and can afford to kind of sit. I kind of think I'm going to wait for so it was 1986 to 93. So it was 20 years, 25 years, almost 30 years. Like there's a part of me that wonders if I'm going to wait to the 2047 version of this.
That's funny.
Like what's going to happen here is we're going to have a 2, 3, 4, 6 year run of heat. Then something else will come along and it will go in its dip.
What's that? Yeah, man, I think so.
Something else come along?
Something always comes along. Cards are always consistent. I keep telling people, they're like, is this like cryptocurrency? Like, first of all, cryptocurrency has been a thing forever. Second of all, cards always have a market. Like Mark McGuire USA cards, when I was out of the game, were selling for fucking $1 trillion. Like, so were Tiger Woods. Like even during the not white heat moments, this has always been a liquid marketplace, and the super premium has had a very, very good run. And so I'm not in the super premium like RPA 101s. I'm in the Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, I'm like so deep into like vintage. Like right before I kind of like got in this cocoon, I bought a ton of Montana rookies. Like give me a top 5 all-time quarterback. Let me lock in for that. So I'm like, I do, my son is 8. And so I do wonder, there is one scenario I do think about, which is I'm very good at knowing when things are about to get hot. And I'm always very good at knowing when things are about to get cold. So for example, I sold my entire card collection in 1992, like all of it, like my business, like right before, like 6 months to a year before it started collapsing. Cause I could feel it. I could feel the energy. So I do think like, national 4 years from now, my 12-year-old son, he's doing his thing, hustling in it, and I can just taste it. Do I then make a play and, go 10% below market on super duper premium and cut in half just to be thoughtful because I could rebuy it in 2 years so I do think there is that scenario. The truth will come down to how busy I am and do I taste the moment.
But long term, I still think you're going to win.
Oh, long term,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm buying cards the way I buy stocks, which is like, I've almost never transacted on any of my publicly held stocks. I buy what I believe in long term, and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I do love doing shows though. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait for the National. I'll be selling, I will, but but I don't think I'll be selling heavily. Like last year, I think 50% of my tables had a display of things I was buying.
Are you only buying slabs, Gary? Do you have a preference in who grades them or anything like that?
I like them all. I really do. I really do like PSA, SGC. I personally love SGC. I just like the visual of the black case. I like them on vintage since I buy vintage a lot. It helps me.
Yep.
I'm aware that they don't command the same price as PSA. One of my concerns when I think 30 years down the line is AI, technology taking over grading. And am I sitting on a bunch of 7s that are saying that they're 9s? So that runs through my mind as a vulnerability. But I mainly buy slabs. I don't know. I don't have the eye for grading. I definitely don't have the time to look at eBay. I mean, I wish. If I was 16, I'd live on eBay, zooming in, fucking. I'd make so much money on that because
I'm 30 and I do that.
I love that, bro. Yeah, but it's you're actually doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's great, and like it's a skill set that you built up. And like, I'll be frank, I wish I could, like, going to card shops and card shows, and like going through, raw and like just knowing that's fucking fun.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the best moments for me during this whole last year was my friend Brandon went to a card shop, saw Dr. J72 Tops, sent me the picture. And like, I was already getting a little, I'm like, I was like, I think that might be a 6. And then I kind of like looked up what a 6 was going for. And I started trying to see, and he bought it and he submitted, got a 6. And I was like, yeah, and that was fun.
Oh man. Hey, what percentage of your PC or personal collection do you think is like 2012 Prism and past besides vintage?
2012 and more current, you mean?
Yes.
So I don't know if I have a personal collection, first of all.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, to me, I just have,
for sale.
yeah, I just have, that's just the truth. Like, I never want to bullshit. Like, I'm not in that place where I'm like buying Namath or Altoon or like a Jets or Knicks thing. Like, I'm just not, I've never been a collector, but I'm definitely not a flipper I can play long, right? Lou, 2012 and up, what do you think? Probably 20%?
Not even. I mean, dollar, like percentage allocation of everything you have in, 10%, like actual number of slabs because of all of the, what I'm saying? Like the number of them. Yeah, then it's probably like 15.
Now let me ask you this. What percentage of all of your wealth is invested in sports cards?
It's tough because my business
5?
It's tough. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the honest answer. I love this question because it's so direct. My business is so valuable that, my wealth is tied in percentage there. But if you're talking about like almost like what I would call liquid, right? Yeah. Like I can transact on, I've got cash, I've got stock. Maybe on a liquid front, maybe 13%.
13%.
Over under 5. Yeah.
But liquid, right? Like, yeah. I mean, the reality is it's way under because my transactional, like if I liquidate everything, but homes and all that shit. Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather have sports cards than cash or stock.
Yep.
You trust your investments. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Man, that's crazy stuff.